Okay, so we are going to be doing a assumptions video, so your assumptions about me. And of course, if you're here, then you're watching me on my second channel, which I haven't posted a lot on yet, but I'm just coming up with like different ideas and thinking what to do and like trying to find time to do it and all that amongst the reaction videos on my main channel. But I do want to make this channel quite fun and do lots of different things, at least try to anyway. But yes, today we're doing an old trend where, you give me your assumptions of me. And I've got them lined up here. And I'm ready to go. So the first one is from Instagram, and Judge Sol has said, "You're a very spiritual person." Yes, I am actually, but I wouldn't say I'm actively spiritual in the sense of like I don't spend days on end, polishing my crystals or meditating even really. I'm just a naturally spiritual person, if that makes sense. Okay, if I'm going to be totally honest, I've been very spiritual in times of need for sure, but I've kind of lost a bit of my spirituality in the last year whilst being hit with depression. So I'd say at my core I'm a spiritual person, but I'm also a bit of an everything person. I'm spiritual, I believe in science, even religion, some of it. I'm very open-minded to everything. But when it comes to spiritualness, it can be difficult because I often, God, it's hard to explain, but I often fight with my demons, if you know what I mean. And when things don't go right, I feel like I don't have any angels around me, or I don't have any spirit guides, apart from you guys, of course, but you know what I mean, like spirit guides or a lot on any guardianship. And I guess that's also because I don't really dive into it as much as I used to. I really should get on that though. So in a way, this has just made me feel like I need to lean into it again. But it's just, with anything, there are extremists, and I am certainly not an extremist. Normally with spiritual things, it'll be something that happens in my life that I can only describe as a spiritual moment rather than calling it coincidence or whatever. I will say it was meant to happen. I believe in like the fates of things, or like karma and stuff. I do believe in. So it's a difficult question. Ask me in like a few months and I might have a different answer altogether. Ask me a few months ago, I would have said I'm not spiritual anymore. But I'm in that little place of I just go with the flow, and if I'm feeling spiritual and something spiritual is happening, then it really is. And like, if I'm going to choose any kind of spirituality, it would definitely be shamanism, something I have dove into many times and has helped me out of very, very scary places, including psychosis. So yes, I am spiritual, but not all the time, just kind of when it arises in my life. Okay, anyway, Miles Harvey says, "Very misunderstood as a child/teen, deeply empathetic, a healer, and kind." Well, that's just very kind to even assume that. Yes, definitely misunderstood as a child and teenager, definitely. And if it wasn't for the way I dressed or the way on the music I listened to, it was just because I had a quirky personality too. I was very hyper and a very wacky kind of humour. Just a little bit different to the rest, I would say. And people would think I was weird. Like, definitely being called a weirdo a lot throughout my life. Not so much now as an adult, no. But as a teen, and a kid, definitely. I am deeply empathetic, absolutely. Sometimes it's a fault of mine, and it's, well, you know how it is. It could be very frustrating, actually, being too empathetic. A healer, very kind. Saying in brackets a healer though, I do try and help my friends out as much as possible and listen to people, and I'm very open-minded when it comes to like problems and stuff. I try and be very open, and I listen and let people have their space to talk, and then I comfort. So if that's being a healer, that's being a healer. And kind. I think I'm just as kind as anyone, really. I try to live life through kindness because it's totally free to be kind. It's easier to be kind. And why wouldn't you be kind? It's just a natural state for me to just try and be kind. What's the point in being anything else? So hopefully that answers your assumption. Okay, we have this one from Frosted Kitty saying, "One moment you go from chill And then next you go to chaos and panic. Love ya. This is an interesting observation or assumption, because I kind of think, yeah, I do. Well, I have borderline personality for one, so yeah, easily I'll jump from mood to mood and very quickly, definitely. But like, I also think with the YouTube stuff, I'm there going, oh my god, all this terrible stuff's happening, and then you'll see me on a video and I'm like, oh yeah, this album's so chill, I love it, it's just so good, and I'm so relaxed. Yeah, like I can go from one to the other very quickly, but I'm not like say if I'm in an anxious situation where something's going wrong, I am probably the one that would stay calm rather than freak out and get funny. I'm actually quite calm in stressful situations. I just get insecure, I think. So when I do a video and I'd give you a thought on something, like an observation, an opinion, I might be like, get insecure suddenly and be like, well, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know. So I kind of can be like that. Okay, Timmy Too Well has said, I see you in a Revlon commercial because you're so stunning. I assume that. Oh, that's just very nice. I don't know what to say to that. Just thank you, I guess. Thank you. You did actually, all of you did submit all nice ones, to be honest. I haven't really seen anything that's horrible. Okay, but this one. You've got a younger sister that's so incredible it makes you weep just to think about it. And that was assumed by my sister. So, yeah. And to be honest, it's true. I am absolutely so proud of my sister. I think she's an incredible human being and I love her to pieces. And I'm 10 years older than her, so there's a little part of me that feels very mothering towards her, but also like we're best friends at the same time. So, yeah, you're not wrong there, Isabella. Jay and Dougal has said that you really know how to put aside pre-existing opinions when creating new ones. See, that's a really cool assumption. Like, I had to think about that, actually. Yeah, absolutely. You know, if I feel like I don't like something and I've said I don't like it, I don't trust that, because how many times have you said, I hate this song, or I hate this film, I hate this colour? Then a few years later, you're like, I actually love it. I love it so much. And so I've learned from that, really. I try not to say I hate anything or I don't like anything unless it's like Andrew Tate. I know I hate him. I do like to welcome new opinions and so on, because why not? You know, I talked about having an open mind. There you go. You know, as long as it's not a harmful opinion, then yeah. I just accept anyone's opinion, even if it's opposed to mine, you know? You're very in touch with your emotions and you feel things very intensely, both bad and good. Yes, again, pretty similar to the other one. This was said by Cal Nicholson. Yeah, definitely. I do feel things very intensely. And sadly, a lot of that's normally like bad feelings. But when you get a good feeling and to feel that intensely is so good. Whenever I feel bad or feel like I can't do this anymore, I think about when I do my videos and I'm like, yeah, I really feel true happiness when I do that. So, like, I don't know, that's just a saving freaking grace, honestly. But yeah, I do. I feel things very intensely, but I am in touch with them, like you were assuming, Cal. Yeah, I know what I'm feeling most of the time. I know what's going on. The gay Ben has said that you're genuinely the best mum ever. I am certainly not the best mum ever. I have got so many friends who are like unreal in like their mumness. They do things with the kids every single day. They are just fantastic. What I can say is I'm a good mum for having chronic pain, PTSD, BPD, and having a child at 17 years old. I'm pretty good considering, but of course, I wish I was better. But I think the thing about being a good mum is just trying to be there for your children, tell them you love them, and be absolutely open-eared and non-judgmental to whatever they want to talk to you about, and always try and solve a problem rather than tell a child off. Try and understand why a child has done something and work through it. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the best mum ever, no way, but I'm proud to have raised such a beautiful, wonderful, kind daughter, in fact, you know. So I'm very proud, but I'm not proud of myself. I'm proud of her because she did a lot of the work too, you know. She could have gone against my parenting and been horrible, but actually no, she's a wonderful person. And I also feel like if I had like loads of money, I'd probably be quite a bad mum because I would have spoiled her so much. So it's kind of good that we've grown up with humble beginnings so that, you know, she understands that, you know, you can't just be given everything. You have to earn what you get, or and so on like that. So it's a million things. It's difficult. All you got to do is try your best in whatever situation you're in and make sure that you are loving and listening and empathetic, kind. Tap your mind into the mind of an 11-year-old sometimes and go, would I do something like that at 11? Yeah, I probably would. Kind of being forgiving, you know? But anyway, enough of that, because that question, that one makes me feel, well, obviously a bit shy. Okay, Z-Sides Music has said, you're into meditation. And funnily enough, earlier in the video, I was saying, like, I find I don't really meditate. I have done when I do my journeys, like shaman journeys. It's not really a meditation. It's more of, like I said, a journey where it's like a visual meditation, I guess. So it is meditation, actually. I do find visual meditations very nice, but I can't just sit and just listen to the sounds of everything. I get to ADHD, if I'm honest. I have different forms of meditation, I'd say. So yeah, I am. I totally love meditation. I always tell myself I need to do it more, but because my mind is just so chaotic, I'm almost scared to do it. You know what I mean? But I used to do it a lot when I had dialectical behavioural therapy, and it was visual stuff. It was and observing stuff and breathing. It was all lovely, but hard to do on my own. I'd rather be in a setting where everyone's doing it. It's all about it, you know, then I could probably really tap into it. So I don't know. I am, but I find it difficult. Glitterandy has said, you like black cherry ice cream. This is such a funny one and a cute one because, like, it's funny that you say that. I don't actually like black cherry ice cream, but I do love cherries. In fact, not so much recently, but for like last 2 years or 3 years, maybe more, I eat cherries every single evening. Every single evening I eat cherries. I'm not joking. I love them. They're my favourite fruit, but I don't like them in ice cream. But okay, next we have Carl Paytonart has said, music is your outlet for escapism from reality. Abso-fucking-lutely. It enhances my reality. As soon as I got those headphones in, I'm somewhere else, but I'm in the world here, but everything feels better, you know? When I have my headphones in and I'm just around the house with the headphones in, I am dancing, I am in the zone. I feel like I'm part of a music video every single time a song comes on. I just can't help but feel like I'm in a music video. I've been like that my whole life. Probably growing up loving Lady Gaga, you know what I mean? Like, just watching her music videos, and then when I was listening to music, I'm like, yeah, I'm like Lady Gaga in these videos. But no, it's carried on into my adult life. I'm 28 now and I still feel like that. So yeah, it's a completely beautiful escape, and that is my meditation, actually. Going back to meditation, that's my freaking meditation. Nick is on Discord, has said, you don't like spicy food and you don't like gherkins. Okay, I don't love spicy food because I got acid reflux and it really makes it bad. However, now that I'm on a medication for that, I can eat a little bit of spicy, but I don't love it. I can't have anything too spicy. That is just too much for me. My mum and stepdad love spicy food and they would always make spicy meals, but I would always be like, I'm not having that. But sometimes I'd have to, you know, when you're young and your mum makes your food, you've got to eat it. You got to eat it. So sometimes I'd end up eating it and being like, but I do like gherkins, actually. I do. Pickles. I love them. I don't eat them on their own. I like them in a burger. Some people absolutely hate that, but I actually really enjoy it. So yeah, and I can eat them on their own. I just couldn't eat loads. You know what I mean? It's just like I could eat one on its own, I think. And also Nick is on Discord has also said, you give off as someone who gets easily inspired by the most random things every day. Absolutely. Yes, I do. I do. And a lot of that goes hand in hand with my impulsivity as well. I might say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then it won't be done. It's just an idea, but I get inspired, right? So yes, I do get inspired, or I get inspired by something I see and I want to write lyrics to it, or something I hear and I want to write a poem, or something I feel and I want to write a poem, or I want to do something artistic. I'm inspired daily by anything. I can't even give examples because it's just every day. It'll be before I go to sleep, when I wake up, in the middle of the day. Inspiration just hits me. But for as much inspiration as I get, I don't always follow through on doing something to do with that inspiration. Before I did YouTube, I did that all the time because I wasn't as busy, so I could do anything when inspiration hit. But now it's a little bit more like I've got to fit it into my schedule. Missy 1030 says, you are a good friend, great listener, easygoing, selfless and funny. Well, thank you. I don't know what to say to that. All I'm going to say is thank you. I'm really glad that you think so. You'll have to ask my friends if it's true. You look like your childhood faves were Evanescence and Metallica. And this was assumed by youlovehim.now. And no. And I say it with love because I actually do really like Evanescence now. I've listened to them in my adulthood, and I liked a couple songs when I was a teenager, for sure. When I think of childhood, I was into Avril Lavigne, I was into Paramore, I was into Good Charlotte, I was into Busted, McFly, I was into Britney Spears, I was into Madonna. Yeah, like that more than anything. Evanescence and Metallica weren't really on my radar in childhood, but in teenhood, yeah, of course I knew who they were. Oh, but yeah, never really liked Metallica. And Evanescence, when I was growing up, I liked the song Call Me When You're Sober, and maybe a couple others, but not a huge fan. Like I said, it was, My Chemical Romance. I was proper emo for a bit. Also growing up, I liked like scene music, like very cringy MySpace music. Of course, Lady Gaga, like I mentioned earlier. But people do often think that that's what I'm like, that I would like Evanescence and Metallica and like stuff like that. Like people would think so. Because I actually like bands as I got older, not necessarily in my younger teens. I do like bands like Led Zeppelin for sure. I love The Doors. I like Guns N' Roses, not the most massive fan, even though I've seen them live and I've seen Slash like 3 times. But I've gone because my friends like them. Yeah, I do like some old rock songs, but yeah, Led Zeppelin, probably my number one when it comes to classic rock. Trying to think of everything. I can't think of it all on the spot, but there's like loads of bands I like. Obviously, some of you might know, but I am not guilty about it. But I absolutely freaking love Limp Bizkit. They are just amazing to me. Like, it's not even like that I think their lyrics are like, outstanding, or that they are like the best, oh my god, so complex and pretentiously amazing at music. It's not like that. It's just fun. It helps me feel sometimes, when I just want to rock and get it out. They're the ones for that. The thing is, it's hard for me to say my faves were Evanescence and Metallica because I've just always had such a huge array of music that I've liked growing up. But Avril Lavigne, she was my girl growing up, and then Paramore, Hayley Williams was my girl when I was a teenager. Kind of don't listen to either of them now though. African Mammy says, when I first saw a video, I thought you were going to be very stern, serious and critical. Oh, that's so funny. It's interesting to think about that. I wonder why. Probably because my thumbnails are all posy and straight face and serious. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Probably would seem like I'd be very serious, actually. And then you start watching them and you're like, what is this weirdo? So that's quite funny when I like that one. Oh my god, there's 2 from this person and they are actually making me laugh already. I've just skimmed them. Callie Lundaye. Oh my gosh, I can't say it, but I'll put it on the screen, of course. They said, you know someone who knows Lana Del Rey. Oh my gosh, I wish. I don't know anyone who knows Lana Del Rey personally. I know people who know her as her singing artist self, but not like on a personal level. Freaking hell, I wish. Can you imagine? They also said another one. They said, you secretly know a lot of French songs and sing them while showering. This makes me laugh so much. And like, no, I don't. However, I do know a few French songs. It'd be weird if I didn't, with the amount of music I listen to. But, you know, if I knew how to do it, I would. I would love to be able to do it, because I do like French songs. Some of them are very good, actually. Oh yeah, sorry. The Kali Luendai said, you know someone who knows Lana Del Rey very well, or you are quite close to her secretly. I think they sent it again or something and reworded it. But yeah, no, I wish. Okay, Jet Black Hair 1 has said, you are very emotional and need a lot of alone time. 100%. That is just so true. I love alone time. I'm alone right now. There's no one in the house but me. It feels fabulous. I love it. I do. I need to recharge. I need to reflect. Nothing can happen when you're alone. You just are there with yourself and you're safe. So I do like being alone, and not just for those reasons, but also because I got so much things to do, you know? I can watch a movie, whatever movie I like. I can play Sims. I can make a video. I can do my makeup. I can do some writing. I can file my nails, paint my nails. I can have a shower. I can eat like whatever food I want. I can do whatever I want. Like, what the hell? Why wouldn't I like that? That's so fun. But I do obviously need social moments as well with friends and so on, otherwise I would go crazy. But just not as much as most people, I guess. I just read this. Paul Kratoville. It's so funny because I've talked to a few of you on Instagram before and I've never read your names out loud, and I'm like, I can't even say your name. I actually can't say your name. Well, Paul said, no need to assume we've seen your light. Once you know, you can spot others that do very easily. That's very cute. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. So on YouTube, someone called Per Evil says, I think you went through a phase where you are obsessed with frogs. No, but funny you say that, because my daughter, 100% obsessed with frogs. Even now, she started off being obsessed with owls. Then it was axolotls, and now it's frogs. So it's so funny you say that, because, yeah, we do have a frog lover in the family. And of course I love frogs, they're cute. And I don't like it when people pick them up and make them scream. I saw a compilation of people doing that, and I hated it. I know it sounds interesting when they scream, but, like, don't try and go out your way to do it. That's horrible. So, yeah. I protest the rights of frogs to not be picked up willy-nilly. It's not good for them either. Right, anyway. Cinnamon Row. I love that. Cinnamon Row. That's so cool. On YouTube, I said, you look like you specifically listen to a lot of heavy metal rock, especially Metallica, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. You're not wrong with the Led Zeppelin. You're not wrong. I love Led Zeppelin, but I don't really listen to it that much now. If it comes on, I like it. I like watching people react to people like Led Zeppelin and stuff, because so many people are like, what? Like, so many people just haven't heard music like that, and then when they do, they're like, this is cool. I'm like, it is cool. Not Metallica. I don't really know many Metallica songs. I can't even name one, for God's sake. AC/DC though, they're pretty cool as well. Yeah, do love them. You got to think as well, I haven't listened to an AC/DC album ever. I have listened to a Led Zeppelin album, so for sure. Okay, and then we have, well, I assume you're always late, I guess. Yes, you've assumed absolutely correct. I am. I'm late to everything. I can't even help it. I tried to do a video the other day where I spontaneously got a bus into town by myself. Didn't end up working out. Number one, I was late for my bus. Number two, it was pouring with rain, so I gave up. But I am late to absolutely freaking everything. Yeah, even this trend, blatantly. Yeah, someone called Bean Ben says, you're a huge introvert. Yes, I freaking am. Hugely so, which is crazy, because when I see my friends, I'm very chatty. I can know how to turn it on. I know how to be extroverted. I ask lots of questions. I very much am always like within the conversation. I don't back away at all. I am there conversating, answering questions, asking questions, making people laugh, trying to, be the entertainer in some ways. But that requires me to have a lot of alone time afterwards and be a little bit introverted. And then last but not least, this is a long one, so I wanted to say this one last because it was long, Cries him cries. Chris, I'm Chris. Maybe it's Chris. Oh, I'll put it on the screen. Sorry, you're all gonna have to correct me on your names. But anyway, they said, "Hey Fern, well, that is an invitation. I don't do Insta, so here we go. Disclaimer, nothing of what I project onto you is meant in a negative way and is to be read in an and it is meant to be read in an impressionistic, in the moment kind of feeling." So yeah, that's absolutely fine. They said, "You were raised with brothers and sisters and you were always bright, even as a kid." Yes, I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. And bright, I was bright when it came to things like creativity, yes, and acting and singing and all the arty side of things. I was bright in that. But the rigid school system did not work out so well for you. Exactly, yeah, exactly. As a teen, you were wearing henna red hair dye, kind of gothy, but also not to be fit in a clear drawer. Yeah, absolutely, of course. Like, I was, don't know if I ever wore henna red. Actually, I did wear henna red hair dye once, actually. I think the first time I ever dyed my hair was henna red. Because my mum dyes her hair henna black. So I think she probably was like, right, have the henna one. I definitely had red hair at times, but I had every hair colour. And yeah, I would say gothy, but can't be put in a clear drawer. No, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And like gothy, it could also be like, I was just anything. I can't even explain it. Like now, you know how some days I'll be dressed like vintage goth, and then the next day I'm like this, like literally like a little princess. When you were young, you discovered nightlife with all its ups and downs. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. I was in nightclubs at age 15 and in pub lock-ins at 14. But unlike some poor others, you moved on and your curiosity demanded input. Music always played a big role in your life, as well as for coping and emotional reasons, but also in a theoretical aspect. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did music in college and in university, and I went to college when I was 16 and didn't finish uni until I was 23. So yeah, I did so much music studying growing up. I suppose it's all natural to you. You have the ability for hearing, I mean really hearing, patterns, sounds, emotions, the between the lines, composition and arrangement, voice qualities, and so much more. And then came the words and terms and vocabulary to describe it all so that we can all enjoy your ability. That's so sweet. Yeah, all my life I have been able to hear music in a way that it's been very profound throughout my life. Funnily enough, I think being someone who likes to sing, that's helped me, because even through the darkest of times which my childhood had, singing was like the one thing that I felt like was a gift, if you know what I mean. It was the one thing that I believed would help me out of any dark place. The fact that I could sing was like a little gift that God or someone up there, someone around me gave me so that I wouldn't lose my mind. And with singing, of course, that comes music. So music is a gift to all of us. But I guess I've definitely thought about that in a very deep way many of times. So yeah, I have always listened to music very in depth. And I think I've mentioned this many times before, but I've done that with all art. So when it comes to film, when it comes to paintings, when it comes to dance, I interpret, and it's such a labyrinth in my mind. But it's one that I know how to get out of. And the vocabulary side of it is actually, it's funny because I actually struggled to find a vocabulary in normal sentences most days, and even with music. But when I'm in a flow state, it just comes so naturally, and it flows, and it feels so me. I feel very me. So yeah, very true. This is all just a bloody compliment video, isn't it? I'm like, oh. As a young adult, you struggle a bit with the working world. You mentioned the relatable reasons in your videos. You are a loving mother and partner, although you are sometimes hard to reach. Suffering from depression too, but childless. I can only try and assume what the grey cloud must feel like for a parent. Yeah, I'm sorry you have to go through that too. It's horrible and unfortunately very common. We are two of many. But yes, the unreachable is interesting. It's so true. I am unreachable in a sense where when the stress and depression is just so overwhelming, I become very closed off, and we could go back to isolating and being introvert and so on like that. And that's the darker side of it, is that I need to be alone because I'm not feeling great, and being a parent, of course that makes it difficult. But when you are in a position where you have to parent, even throughout it, your child can do something funny or talk about something interesting, and you'll go, oh, thank gosh you're here, because you are really helping me out of this right now. And other times when it's just too hard, I'm very lucky that her father is around and I'm with him. We are together, but we don't live together, but he can have her at his house and then vice versa, Sometimes it's an effing struggle to get everything managed, but you have found that sweet spot in your personality you can rely on. Yeah, it is hard to get everything managed, definitely. I still don't think I've got everything managed, but I think the core of things is being able to at least just do one thing that was productive each day, and that is my management, just to be able to do at least one good thing and one proactive thing, one thing that makes you feel a slight bit of success, even if that is just washing the dishes. But when it comes to personality, interesting. I have a very strange view of my personality. I guess that's also why I wanted to do this video, because I wanted to know what you thought of me. I said to my friend the other day, what type of humor do you think I have? And she was like, dark humor. And I was like, really? I was like, am I? And then throughout the night I was making dark jokes, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, I do have dark humor. I don't really share it much on when I do these videos, and I don't mean dark where it's okay, that's just overly offensive. No, it's really silly, dark. It's like wacky dark humor. I can't really explain it, but it's just I would never do anything to offend anyone or hurt anyone, of course. I guess I'm finding myself again through this year, because my world's been shaken around so much. So yeah, it's really hard to know what my personality is sometimes. I just be me, and I guess that's me. I just say what I say. I act how I act, and that's just who I am. I don't know. I guess it's best not to think about it too much. And they also said it will lead you back to light. Every cloud has a silver edge. You are not afraid of sharing your thoughts, funny, direct, sometimes a little amped up or heightened. You show yourself the way you feel yourself, and I cut it off a little bit there. So you feel in the moment, or feel you can't lie. Maybe it says that. But either way, yeah, I am direct. Of course, I'm funny. I'm hilarious. Honestly, I'd say I'm funnier in real life than on videos, because I've got someone to bounce off of. You know what I mean? Other funny people to bounce off of. But in school, I used to have a whole table laughing, if you know what I mean. I would be the entertainer and making everyone laugh, distracting everyone. But yeah, not as scared of sharing my thoughts. Actually, I find sharing my thoughts and vulnerabilities to be very, very therapeutic for me, very safe. It actually makes me feel more safe to be able to just share exactly who I am, no secrets, no mystery or anything like that, because when I keep things inside, that's where it gets really, really, really dark. And actually, it's hard to believe, but I do that a lot of times. Whenever I get sad, I don't reach out to friends or family. I'd actually find it easier just to make a video than to actually talk to someone one-on-one about my problems. So it's a weird one. I'm a weird one. I just am. But yeah, those are all the assumptions. Hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun. It felt like an interview. And you're all very, very kind and very nice. So that was relieving. But yeah, I shall see you next time. Bye.